AJ Styles has faked his retirement and attacked Cody Rhodes. A huge championship match was teased on SmackDown, and another WWE contract is said to be expiring. Stay tuned for all the wrestling news. Now, last night's SmackDown, basically the story of last night's SmackDown was one of AJ Styles and a possible retirement. Now, he appeared in a pastel blue suit. Now, I think for many people that think back to the days of 2013 when you see a pastel coloured suit.
Yeah, shades of Big Mark.
It's shades of Mark Henry. But the story of last night's SmackDown, AJ Styles was looking for Nick Aldis, wanted to speak to him and was like, I want time to address my future. Now, this was playing off of last week's SmackDown,
right,
where he was speaking to Nick Aldis and was like, look, I want another shot. I want another shot at that title. You know I don't have much time left.
Aldis is looking at him like, get to the back of the line, you sweaty old man.
Yeah, well, Aldis did I thought it was a really well done segment the other week where Aldis is like, AJ, as your friend and longtime colleague, I would love to. As a GM, I can't. So AJ was a little bit desperate. He was gutted at that response.
You'll get told off. I'll get fired.
Yeah, exactly. So he was on SmackDown looking for a way to not get around this, but to address his future and basically be like, hey, look, what's next for AJ Styles? And he did so by, on his way to the ring, he bumped into LA Knight. LA Knight was like, well, if the rumors are true, mad respect. Cody Rhodes shook his hand. They had a little exchange of a whisper. And then finally, AJ bumped into the OC, Carl Anderson, and Luke Gallows. And he said, if we're going to do this, I need you out of the ring with me. They came to the ring. AJ cut a promo about how, you know, he's not a young man essentially anymore. And he's at the back of the line.
And he can no longer pursue Cody Rhodes' title because he's at the back of the line. He's at the back of the line. He just doesn't have the time to do that now.
And he was like, my son graduated high school this past week. It made me reassess. Yeah, big pop for the son graduating. He's made me reassess all of this.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time for me no longer to be the phenomenal AJ Styles, but to be a phenomenal father. Big tears from the audience. What a beautiful moment. He called out Cody Rhodes and said, Cody, I whispered in your ear when I called you, you were to come to the ring. He came out. They had a little exchange. Cody referenced a text message between them. AJ Styles said that this was the house that AJ Styles built, and he wanted Cody out there to pass the keys. They did the arm raise, so they had the arm up. Like,
every side, but like multiple times. It was like, look, stage, have a look. Front, have a look. Up. Back, have a look. Up and down, have a look.
But then AJ clotheslined the hell out of Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, just straight around the back of the head, jumps on him, immediately tears his shirt open to be like, look, I'm ripped, and then just beats him up even more.
Yeah, it hits a Styles Clash off of the steel steps on the outside. Gallows and Anderson just keeping everyone at bay.
Belly laughing as well.
Yeah, they're belly laughing throughout the first part of the attack, and then they kept the officials and Nick Aldis at bay, stopped them from coming to the ringside. This was very reminiscent for me of beat up John Cena. Yeah, back in 2016,
which in spite of it being very, very annoying, that was the whole point, right?
Great.
But it sort of it did exactly what it said on the tin, and it was a nice little run for. I think one of the more memorable runs that we've had, weirdly and sadly, to say that, with Gallows and Anderson. So anything more to feature them in this sort of position, I guess I'm happy.
Yeah, if it gets them boosted up, and it looks like
they're still a world class tag team. I just feel like I barely ever see them do anything.
That's the thing. We don't see them. AJ distanced himself from a bit from them recently, but this looks like this could be the match we're getting at Clash at the Castle between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. I was thinking the other day that it wasn't very clear who Cody's next challenger really is for that event.
Well, we're going to need somebody to win a belt, so AJ's going to win that one, Drew's going to lose the other one.
No.
You've seen the Madison Square Garden, Bill. It's fine.
Anyway.
It's okay. Time heals all wounds.
It's going to be a good match. They had a barnstormer back at Backlash in France. And basically, this is an opportunity for the Glasgow crowd to one-up France like I know we can. Come on, Scotland.
I reckon the atmosphere is going to be absolutely insane
electric
in there, man.
And the atmosphere is going to go insane for one other person, and that's LA Knight.
Very smooth seg. Yeah. So it wasn't just AJ that was wanting to speak with Aldis last night, as LA Knight wanted to find out where Logan Paul was. Now, speaking with Kayla Braxton, Knight revealed that Logan Paul wasn't in attendance at SmackDown, but he said that he's going to forge his own path to the United States Championship, and then directly looked down the camera, spoke to Logan Paul, and said, I want that United States Championship. No word right now when this match could take place, but Clash, again, is only 2 weeks weeks away.
2 weeks away.
Logan Paul being on a UK pay-per-view with the fact that half of the children in this country's blood has been replaced by Prime probably makes sense.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's
If
that
they
or
launch
Money in
a
the Bank.
limited Iron Brew flavour, and then I think Scotland just stops moving for a few months.
You know what?
Kids
You've
will just
sold
hold
me.
families to ransom.
I like Logan Paul now if he does that. If he gets me an Iron Brew Prime that tastes like Iron Brew but is not like the Iron Brew energy drink, I'm sold on it.
It's not like the Iron Brew energy drink, but it's got 11 times the
Oh,
caffeine.
yes. That's what we need. Inject it into my veins.
It makes sense, right? LA Knight's going to get a huge response. Logan Paul is, again, he's somebody that the crowd loves to hate. He's somebody that you can easily follow along with. All of his storylines are very straightforward. And he always brings it in ring.
And the crowd was so loud back in London last year for Money in the Bank when they were booing Logan Paul endlessly. Again, Glasgow can one-up them. The only other thing, though, is I could see them maybe holding this match off to a Money in the Bank or extending that feud on until SummerSlam. SummerSlam's quite a way away.
It'd be nice to see a bit of an extended feud here. Like between both, because I think that they both have the ability to just continue it on, right? And if it elevates the United States title even a little bit more, and it helps bring more gravitas to that belt, because it has been an afterthought for quite a long time.
A little bit. I think Logan's doing a good job of getting it.
It feels like we're starting to kind of get back into that routine. So it's like, hey, just get a nice long feud, and then eventually when Logan Paul drops it, it's going to be major news anyway, right? So
he's mainstream. It'll be massive. LA Knight does feel the right person to take it from him. I think a lot of people have been saying that for a very, very long time. My hope is at Clash, because I want to see that happen, but it could be a little bit further down the road. Let us know when you think that's going to happen. But we're going to move over to NXT just now, because this week there's been a little bit of an odd story. Me and Tom referenced it on the news yesterday. Brooks Jensen, he posted on Twitter that he was like, you know what to do with this. And he posted his booking email.
Book Brooks Jensen at bookbrooksjensenwrestler.com for wrestling shows that aren't WWE.com.
Pretty much, yeah. He was like, you know how this goes. And it appeared like he was maybe quietly leaving WWE. He'd been released or whatever, but there'd been no official confirmation from WWE, and there'd been no reports that this was the case. Since then, though, he has made an appearance at an NXT live event last night, holding a sign that says Brett would book better. Now, of course, as I've written down here, that's in reference to Shawn Michaels' long-term rival, Bret Hart.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
Not Bret DiBiase.
Which, I mean, that'd be a very weird...
It would be a weird angle.
Very weird angle to go for. Bret DiBiase would book better from prison than...
Well, yep, he has been booked, I guess.
But yeah, this is, I guess, we're going into a bit of a worky, shooty, pew-pew, is it real, is it not angle? Or he has just legitimately turned up with a sign like Canyon did.
I mean, he could have done that. I hope not, because there is something in this, in the fact that, Shawn Michaels is keeping him off TV, and maybe you could do something with that.
Blurring the lines again. Blurring the lines, what's real, what's not, right?
Shawn Michaels wants to bring fun back to wrestling. That was a big talking point of this whole Jordan Grace thing.
He brought back the house, right? He brought back the house. That was all that mattered to me. When that house set came back, I went, there's nothing this man could ever do wrong again.
You are a big WCW fan, aren't you? And because they had the Havoc, stuff as well.
Havoc stuff as well. Oh yeah. I just like the Halloween Havoc. They always go really, really extra for. I want to see them do Bash at the Beach outdoors at a beach. That'd be amazing.
That'd be good fun.
But just the in your house set, man. Just seeing that house again.
It was good fun. NXT is good fun at the moment. I don't think Brooks Jensen has left WWE. I think the whole time I felt this was a little bit of a storyline. He is only 22, so he has a lot of... If maybe his previous character was not what they wanted to do with him, they have split up that group that he was in. Maybe this is just, right, let's see what lands, put you on the house shows, see what character we can get going.
Turn Shawn into the Funker and have somebody just keep retiring every few years.
Yeah,
and he can be the first.
Have him bring Shawn Michaels back out of retirement again.
Put a wig on him this time.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Please do that. But we're going to finally move over to our last story just now about a WWE contract expiring. It seems that this is the current trend. It's contract after contract. We're hearing reports. Oh, this is expiring soon. This is expiring next week. This is expiring soon.
You're not fired. It's just you're not getting renewed.
Which He's better than releases.
But then at the same time, it's not necessarily that. It's just this is just sort of how it feels we're moving now to rather than people just being released.
Correct.
But just because a contract's expiring doesn't mean somebody has been released or they will be released.
That is true.
Yeah.
Well, according to a report from Fightful Select and Viper of PWN, this is a joint report from both outlets, Ricochet's WWE contract is set to expire this summer, with sources confirming to Fightful that discussions around a new contract for the current WWE Speed Champion is set to take place, but there's no confirmed date of when they will begin and when his contract is up. Now, this does line up with reports that we heard way back in 2019 from the Wrestling Observer newsletter that said that his contract, or he'd signed a new 5-year deal in 2019 and was around the summertime. So it kind of lines up with those reports. It'd be interesting to see if he tests free agency.
Possibly. We had the recent comments from Will Ospreay being like, it's disgusting how they book him, bro.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's always going to be one of those things where people are going to look at any landing spot for Ricochet and go, yeah. Because, I mean, the guy is incredible. Right?
He can do things in the ring that
but
just blow
at the same time, maybe we've got this budding relationship with TNA. I'd like to see somebody like Ricochet get given just a chance to go and work somewhere else.
Just extend the leash a little bit.
Just more like go and like make a big wave somewhere else, because it feels right now it's like, yeah, we're doing the speed thing, but like the speed thing's just
it's on one platform.
It's a very specific thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of its own bottle. It's almost like a 205 Live level bottle.
That's it.
But it's kind of I think that if you let Ricochet run wild somewhere like TNA, it get him in the X division.
They'd be they'd be cooking up some great matches in TNA if he was to go over there. I don't think he's going to leave WWE. I feel like with as much as the speed thing feels its separate thing, it does kind of feel like the company is behind him.
Yeah.
Well,
they wouldn't give him the title.
If it wasn't. And with Samantha being there, his whole relationship is in WWE, and he probably doesn't want to go on the road with a different company.
And there's a lot of things like in WWE, I guess we don't really, you know, there's a lot of things where they put people through courses. There's a lot of charity events. There's a lot of like back and forth that maybe other companies don't do. So I think for a lot of people, there are multiple things that kind of attract them to signing that are appealing rather than just a contract, right?
But let us know if you think Ricochet is going to leave WWE this summer. I think he's going to stay. Sam, what do you think?
I reckon he's going to stay, but let's give him a Scott Steiner level. Instead of pushing weights, challenging Triple H, it's just standing backflips. How many can you do? And he'll just stand there doing them over and over again and just beating everybody.
And that's his moveset. There we go.
Get him to call himself a genetic freak.
Because he's not normal.
He's not normal.
He can fly.
Yeah.
He can fly and do not normal things. But that is all we've got for you just now. We'll, of course, be back later on today with more wrestling news. Stay tuned at cultaholic.com and our social medias for more news as it breaks. We will see you later on.